to make it into tomorrow's playoff bracket. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn. We have our blue Terran player from Land of the Americas representing Platinum Esports. It is Vindicta. And he is here for the money. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have one of our own. We have the Cranky Duckling himself, the Danger Dolan, if you will, the red Terran player representing us, the Cranky Ducklings. It is Dirty Dan. And if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets. You have 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes upon hearing this message to place your bets in the chat for who you believe will take this. Predictions open. Good luck, man. Good luck. And we are settling in. So far, so good. We are getting into our initial opener. It's going to be double gas here from Here for the Money. Likewise, double gas for Dirty Dan as well. Double gas opener is going to be leading into a faster factory, into delayed command centers, into a bit of a more aggressive build, and I'm curious to see where we take this. My eyes are definitely on Senor Dolan. And a little bit on Vindicta as well. A little bit. I'm torn. I want them both to do well. I would love to see both of them advancing on into the top 4. I would love to see that, but no, we'll see. Best of luck to Monsieur Dolan and Senor Mix. So now SCV Scout is going to be coming in. Likewise, I do see Migs moving out with his SCV on the right-hand side, avoiding the main scouting path. Looking for proxies. I don't blame him. I don't blame Vindicta whatsoever. Does check these northern base locations, making sure there's no shenanigans, even checking outside of his main, making sure there is no lifting into the main base. So again, Dolan has a reputation. He has a reputation, and Migs is fully aware, so he's scouting very diligently. Is scouting. Meanwhile, we do see Dolan coming in with his SCV. The SCV is going to be tanking a shot, and then the Reaper can then shoot first. Oh! Do shoot first. KDA charge does connect, and Vindicta does back off. Migs pulls back. So does Dolan. The aggression does subside, and we should be expanding. There we go. CC for Dolan. Likewise, the command center on the way for Vindicta. All right. We go. We are calming things down and getting into our 1-1-1 follow-ups. As I say that, it's a 1-1-1 on the way for Migs, avoiding any kind of add-ons or delaying them. Instead, we do see a faster reactor for Dolan into a slightly more delayed starport. Just slight variations here and there. We'll see where this all leads. I would not put it past either player to play mech. I do know that Migs is more of a bio enjoyer. He does enjoy bio a little bit more. But we'll keep an eye on them to see if additional factories are thrown down, or if we commit into focusing on air control and additional starports. Also very viable. We shall see. We shall see. So now we're settling in. Do have our starport getting our first medevac to go for drop play. Meanwhile, Dolan getting into early tank production. Okay. Very fast tech lab here out of Dolan. Much earlier tanks from our red Terran player. In a head-on fight, I want to give the edge to Dolan as he's building up towards tanks and ravens. Meanwhile, Vindicta going for something very different. Initially going for his drop, of course, followed by Vikings for that air control. So a very different approach here from Vindicta. Is moving out across the map, and we'll see what he can get done. We shall see as Reapers, they do dip into the main. Dolan going to be able to keep up though. Does zone this army away for now. No committing, the tank is exposed. We do rotate in time. Tank shuts down one of the Reapers. So far, good response here by Dolan. Does keep up. And Migs will pull back. Behind this, committing here to Viking production, going for the add-on swap, reactoring out 2 Vikings at a time. So there's a bit of a give and take here. So on the one hand, Dolan has a lot of potential with earlier and more tanks and ravens, right? Ravens, they have disable on the way. They have interference matrix. They can disable tanks. We can dive on top of a siege position and break through. There's a lot of potential with this army from Dolan. At the same time, though, we have a lot of positional play here for Vindicta. With all these Vikings, the goal is to zone away and shut down these Ravens. If we can zone them away, if we can focus them down before their spells come into play, then Vindicta can take a fight. He can take a fight, he can snowball out of control, he can break through and break the Red Terran. We'll see if he can. Again, air control is so important here in TvT, even more so than tanks in a big way. Meanwhile, double Eve, it's going to be bio play from Dolan. Going to be embracing that bio. Likewise, Stim is on the way for both players, so bio tank all around. Meg's already moving out. And with these earlier Vikings, he can try to bully his way forward. Can bully his way in. Dolan setting up his tanks here outside of his natural. Mig's looking for a way in, rotating over towards the main. How many Vikings? Five Vikings against 3 Ravens. Now we can throw down auto turrets to try to maintain ourselves. Vikings dive in! First Raven goes down. Big pick up. 1 Raven for 1 Viking. Worthwhile trade here for Vindicta. A mule gonna get thrown down as well, just so we can repair, just so we can sustain ourselves. And Migs, he's not done. We dive in, we go straight for the tank. Dolan will shoot first though. Does punish Migs. Gets one of those tanks. Second tank has arrived as well. Dolan is holding. And again, we're keeping those Ravens in the back line. Make sure they're safe and sound. Away from the prying eyes of all these Vikings. 1-1, almost halfway done. And it looks like Migs is going to back off. He recognizes that he cannot break through, not anymore. So Migs will retreat. Behind this, getting his third base on location. Meanwhile, Dolan does have his third, now soon to be landed. Looking to claim his own, is breaking out. He did lose one Raven, which was huge. He at least has 2 more left. And what's interesting to me is that we have not made Vikings yet. Like Dolan, he has avoided Viking production, going mass Marine instead. It's going to be 27 Marines here for Dolan against the 5 Marines of Vindicta. Vindicta may have air control, but it's possible that we could close that gap. We can, of course, disable those tanks and go for a dive. The Ravens, we have to commit. Yeah, there's no other way about it. We disabled 3 tanks with this 4. We step on forward, we can focus on the tanks one after the other. We get 1, we get 2, we get 3, and we get 4. Every tank goes down. And Dolan may just have too much. The Vikings, they have to land. Boys are being pulled, SCVs are going down, the tanks, they're coming. The tanks are slowly pushing forward. And Migs, he's up against the wall. GG gets called, and Dolan will take game number 1. GG. Again, this is the risk that you take when you go for all those Vikings, when you're going for a bit of a lighter bio composition, as you don't have that bio to help support your army. And Dolan had a big window there to take advantage of. Did have his 1-1 kicking in as well, and Dolan takes the lead. Does take a lead. Again, it was a pretty intense early game there with Vindicta trying to flex his Vikings, trying to snipe those Ravens. He got 1, but you saw how important those Ravens became in the end. He only got 1. The other 2 survived, and we were barely able to disable enough tanks to break through. Barely able to do so. And with that, we're getting into that second game. Migs has to fight back here and now to force the ace match. Otherwise, it will all go the way of Senor Dolan. Let's go. Let us go. Here we go. We're getting into game number 2. And it looks like we're going to be loading into Alcione. Let's go. Let us go. And personally, I'm hoping for an ace match. I'm hoping we can extend this series Regardless of how this goes, I would love to see a game 3, but we'll see. We'll see. The pressure is on Miguelito. I want to believe. And even coming into this, I would have favored him. I would have definitely favored Vindicta. But here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alkione, we have our blue Terran player from Land of the Americas representing Platinum Esports. He is here for the money. Vindicta. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Terran player representing the Cranky Ducklings. He is one of our own. He is leading the series 1-0. It is Dirty Dan. Because that's what they call him. Dirty Dan Dolan. I'm shaking my head. I'm shaking it, Bobby. I'm shaking it. But here we go. We are settling in instantly. We do see a scout at the... Oh my, I thought it was going to be a scout at gold. Never mind. It's going to be a 2-Rax opener. We have 1 Rax back at home, 1 Rax across the map. It is going to be 2 Rax Reaper here for Dolan. Meanwhile, we do have a double gas opener. Thankfully, double gas here from Vindicta. What does this mean? Double gas means a faster factory, means a faster Hellion, means once we at least get into our production, we should be able to deflect this, we should be able to survive. This is not the most aggressive build. This is not like a proxy 2 Rax, just 1 proxied and 1 at home. There is definitely a window. There is opportunity here for this build to get a lot of damage done, but because Vindicta's playing safe, he should be okay. Should be. SCV Scout does confirm that at least 1 Rax is at home. We'll confirm the double gases. And again, that factory should be in production. Reapers on the way. There it is. There's that factory right next to the mineral line, right next to the gas geyser. And again, there's a window. There's going to be a small window here where Dolan has more Reapers than Vindicta, and this is before the factory gets up and running as well, where we could try to snowball out of control and focus down a Reaper and then go for the mineral line. There is a chance, but a very slim one. Go. Reapers are being sent out. Factory on the way as a follow-up. Again, we have 2 Reapers to the 1 of Vindicta, but he's got a bunker. Oh my god, he's ready for this. He didn't quite scat it, but a good read here out of Migs does confirm, and as a result, we do hold quite nicely. Migs pulls back in time. I mean, the Reaper's still quite low, and nice control here. Migs does pull away. Oof. Bleeds out of Marine, but these Reapers are so low, and they won't get much more done. They have to get the hell out of here. But now we build up towards 4 Reapers. The Hellion on the high ground. Oh, it's going to get quite a bit of slash damage done. The Hellion shots go up. Dolan has to pull back. Behind this, we have our CC on the low ground. Meanwhile, Mig's going for a CC on the high ground, so Dolan cutting some corners, being a little bit greedier, but he has map control for now. He has control of the Zelnaga, making additional Reapers just so we can survive and maintain his presence. So we can maintain. And we have to be very careful about overcommitting. With 2 Hellions, they're going to do so much splash damage. We have to be so careful with this army. As the rack should soon be lifted and soon be coming back home. As we built up towards how many? 8 Reapers. That's going to be enough. That'll do, Papi. That'll do. Back home CC is slowly getting up and running. We're getting into our 1-1 setups. 1-1-1 even. Likewise, so is Migs. Interesting, going for an add-on swap, going for the tech lab. With this, we could even open up Banshee. I'm curious if we go Banshee or just an initial Raven. Both have their place. And there's our answer. It is going to be a Raven opener. As we saw in the previous game, Ravens and Disables can be so crucial and so valuable, or even invaluable to a Terran army in a TvT. They can make or break a fight. Again, it's thanks to those Ravens of Dolan that he was even able to win game 1. So for now we do see Migs taking another base. Do see Dolan scanning the main, gets eyes on the third CC. This does confirm that Migs is not going for a 2-base all-in, that he's expanding, that he's working further ahead. Likewise, so is Dolan. And we get the counter scan. Migs also confirms. So it looks like we're going to be settling into a longer game. Going for the Hellions. One Hellion goes down. Just the one initially. Likewise, the rest of the army going to be denying that natural expansion for a little bit longer. Still no orbital either. Dolan looking quite nice here. But he has to respect that tank. Has to respect this position. Again, Dolan, he's up on workers. He's up on mules. Even on tanks. Slightly behind in Raven production, but he's building himself up. And even ahead when it comes to the third base timing. Like, Dolan, again, he's in a good position here. I wouldn't say, like, far ahead to the point where, you know, he has a solid lead. But is a slight lead here for Dolan. We'll see if Migs can make up for that. That additional Raven, again, could be quite a big factor here for him. The additional energy as well. See Dolan getting into his double E-bays, into double upgrades. Double upgrade's going to be on the way. Reapers once again checking, looking for the third, if it is there, to delay it. Gonna take a big tank shot to the face. Bleeding out of units, bleeding out of Hellion. Third base now being taken. We do see Dolan just fanning out his Reapers to scout any kind of drop play here from his opponent. Looks like we may even come across this Marine. Oh! Did catch a glimpse of it for a moment there, but I don't think we really did notice. We have Stim on the way, all of our upgrades. eBay's just now on the way for Vindicta, so there's going to be a window. There's going to be a window where Dolan, because of his greed, is going to have a 1-1 over his opponent. There's going to be a timing available here with the upgrades. We'll see if Dolan does try to hit that timing. For now, we're just expanding. Vindicta was the first player to expand, to take the third. Was the first player to expand, salvaging that bunker finally. Salvaging himself on 3 bases. Does scan the third base, confirming that likewise Dolan is in a similar position. Did miss the army. Dolan has the Zonaga. So Dolan has that added benefit, that added bonus of map vision. Yeah, we're just calming things down. We're calming things down, settling into the TvT. Dolan looking to move out. Bearing in mind that, again, both players have an even Raven count. And Vindicta even has a slight tank lead. Is up 1 tank. Okay, we're taking it fourth. Okay. Dolan not going for a kind of big 1-1 timing. He is moving out, don't get me wrong, but he's not committing. He's not going all in. He's moving out, applying some pressure. Bringing everything together here as he expands. Here we go. Dolan slowly pushing forward. Big disables here on the tanks. The boys are being pulled. The counter disable as well. Auto turrets are thrown down. And Dolan is just going to kite back. He's going to kite back out of range of the tanks. And he takes down 11 SCVs. And I believe Dolan didn't lose any of his own tanks. Yeah, the tank count stays the same. Dolan did bleed out. Oh, actually, he sniped some of those Ravens. Oh my god. I'm a little bit in shock there, but yeah, Vindicta, he bled out 2 Ravens alongside those SCVs. The tank count stays the same, and Dolan retains his own. The Ravens were saved. They're going to be racing back home, and they're going to be repaired. Dolan now up heavily here in the economy. Rotates around, catches some of these Cyclones. Migs. He's in a bit of trouble. Both players scanning each other. Dolan rotating around. Dolan looking for another way in. Now, Dolan doesn't have any more energy for disables, so pushing into these tank lines is not going to be easy. As Migs is going for a big double drop across the map. He's leaving very little bio at home to defend. I wonder if Dolan noticed that. as we have no turrets. No turrets in the main base. No sensor tower either. It's still not even halfway done. And we are vulnerable. The drop unloading at the 4th location. On the right-hand side. Sensor tower is now done. Still no turrets. Dolan's moving out. Migs is aware of the location. He can go for a drop. He can dive into the main. The Ravens are full of energy once again. Scan reveals the tanks. We're looking for a 4th. Here comes that double drop. And nothing quite here. Planetary's up and running. This is going to force a big reaction here out of Dolan. Double drop into the main base. SCVs are pulled away. The army is racing back. We do turn back around. We catch a medevac. Oh! Medevac goes down. We catch a second. 2 medevacs, not too bad. Meanwhile, we do have reinforcements in the main base. Tanks do siege up. But we do deny some of the production. And mining in the main. We're going to try and defend. It looks like we have auto turrets. Oh my god. Ravens have to be careful. Migs does get out. And this does force a big reaction here. We have turrets on the way. Now, thankfully, because Dolan is ahead, because he has more workers and a larger bank to work with, he can afford this. We can't afford all these turrets. But that is a good amount of inadvertent damage here from Migs. Likewise, he forced the army back home. But Dolan is going to be the first to max out. Drop not quite coming back in. Not quite. Dolan pulling back. Migs is up to 10 workers, sorry, 10 tanks at this point. Goes for the unsiege. He's pushing. Uh-oh. He is moving out. It's going to come down to this clash here in the center of the map. How well do we respond? Massive anti-armor missile. Massive missile does connect. On the bio. Tanks are pre-sieged. At the same time, Marines moving out towards the left-hand side. Double drop here towards the 3rd base. Dolan out of position. He's committing. Goes for the mass disable. Oh my god, so many tanks disabled. They will barely siege up. Nice spread here by Dolan. He collapses on the army, takes out every single tank. And the tank count completely reset. Massive fight here for Dolan. At the same time, loses 24 SCVs. His economy is in shambles. He's got to go. He's got to go for the kill. There's no turning back. Dolan does have a supply lead. He lost the 3rd base. There's 1 tank to defend. A little bit premature with those tanks. Do siege up behind the army. Bio pushing forward. We break through the tank line. The 1 tank does fall. We gotta go. We gotta send it. Send it, papi. Boys being pulled. So many SCVs gonna be going down. And we deny the 3rd. We scan ahead of time. There's 1 tank here at the natural. We can keep pushing. You can see Vindicta racing back home, coming in from behind. Tank does on siege. And here we go. We're going for the dive. Vindicta trying to set up the surround. We'll force the pick up. Dolan getting the hell out of there. Does pull away. And with that, Dolan, oh, look at that sip. Look at the supply here. 4th base is being retaken. Has plenty of reinforcements that we're building up back at home. Scan reveals the 4th base. Not too sure if Vindicta was fully aware of that. And Migs, we have an even worker counts, but what about the armies? Dolan, he's got 7 tanks. A Doom drop is risky, but we could commit to this. There's so much supply here. We're going for the boost into the main base. Migs, not quite where he needs to be. 1 tank does siege up in the back line. Maybe someone forward. Decent tank bullies. Yeah, Dolan, he has to back up, but he is capable of the production. At the same time, we're hitting the 4th. Planetary is under fire. We're just pulling Migs apart left and right. He cannot keep up. Not anymore. SCVs are getting shut down. How many do we get? 18, soon to be 20. GG gets called, and Dolan does it. He gets down and dirty, and he does take the series at 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Pretty impressive stuff here. I mean, again, Vindicta, I would say he was the favorite player coming into this. Like, Migs, he's known for his TvT, he's known for his play in general. I know that Migs is a part-time player nowadays. Like, he's not full-time like he once was a year ago. You know, he's focusing on touching grass whenever he can. Miguelito. But regardless, I was still favoring him here. So GG, very nicely done here by Dolan. Very impressive stuff. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Dolan as he does take the series. My condolences to Vindicta, my condolences to Miguelito. Again, I got a lot of love for him, and I hope he does well in this tournament. I hope he's able to make it out of the groups. I hope that he is going to be looking good here as we're getting ready for our next series. We're getting ready for Disc versus Dolan. The round robin stage does continue.